Well, hello, you guys. It is Tuesday. Well, it's Tuesday afternoon. As a matter of fact, I'm very much late, but it's never too late as long as you make it sometime during the day. I used to get this thing done early in the morning. Now I'm progressing more and more to the afternoon, but it's okay as long as I get it done and it's checked off my list. All that matters. I pray that you guys are having an amazing Tuesday. Mine started off a little rocky, but I persevere. I continue to keep going despite of sometimes how I feel, and I'm sure a lot of us are like that every once in a while. You wake up and you're a little bit, something you don't know. You don't know what it is. Something's going on internally or whatever it is, but I would just continue to advise you to just keep pushing through because, the devil comes in any kind of way. Sometimes you're so blessed, you can't find anything to complain about. So he's very creative. He comes in, he finds other ways to get through to you and throw off the day a little bit. And you have to be strong enough to be able to fight your way through that. Amen. Amen. So that's what I did today. And I kind of waited till I felt like I can bring the word forth to you, you know, in a better light once I felt a little bit better today. And here we are. I feel so much better. I have a lot of things going on in my head. I got things that I got to work out. I got to stay intentional with that. I got to make sure, you just got to make sure you stay on task. And that's one thing that I fall short on a lot in my life. That's my flaw. I don't stay on task with a lot of things. So I have to be intentional with that a little bit more these days because it gets hard some days. But I I push through. I push through it all, and I have learned how to, in spite of what I feel like and what I'm going through, I've kind of always been that person. Anybody knows me? I've kind of always been that person, but some days you just don't feel like it. And he's trying to talk you out of doing it. And you have to say, I'm going to stay on task. Don't do me. Don't come for me like that. We're going to stay on task and we're going to get it done. All right. So, again, I hope you're having a spectacular day. I know it's almost, you guys are winding down and you're on your way back through traffic. And I pray that God open the roads for you and you get on home and get that dinner done and do whatever you got to do. Make it work. Okay. So, my word for today is who did I marry? Who did I marry? Is that a good question? Who did I marry? Because, you know, what I'm seeing with a lot of people, you know, when we're in the dating stage, and this is for my daters, this is a good topic for my daters because they don't understand that things kind of change a little bit once you get married. So, who did I marry? I thought, and this is not, this is not me personally, but these are the things that I wrote down. I have like a book of notes here. I thought that I married a man. I mean, this man begged me to marry him. And he promised me at the altar, he promised me that he would love, he would cherish, he would commit to me, he would be loyal to me until the day that I die. That's the man that I thought I married. But now I'm seeing that man that promised me all those things. I'm seeing him looking at other women. I'm seeing him on the phone with other women. I'm catching him out being somebody that he's not. Not the man that that swore to me he wouldn't put me through the things that I went through with my last man. He promised me. The way that he got me was he wooed me with saying that he wouldn't put me through the things that my last husband or my last man put me through. That's how he got me. And now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years later, here we are in that same predicament that I was in. The reason why I told him I didn't want to get married in the first place, he's put me through the same thing. Why would he do that to me? He know I'm damaged goods. He knows that I had a hard time in my last relationship. Why would he put me through that? Who did I marry? Because that's certainly not the man that I married. The man that I married, I just thought that it would be so different. He was so different. He was the man of my dreams, so I thought. And now he's showing me something totally different. How is that possible? Do you understand that a lot of people are going through that right now? These are scenarios. But do you know that that's somebody's life right now? People, when they're dating and then they get engaged and then they realize, while they're engaged, they're talking about when they get married and hopefully they're going through marriage counseling and they're at home and they're talking about things like, well, babe, please, if you feel like, things are going to change once we get married, because I'm seeing some signs here. Sometimes you see the signs. I'm seeing some signs here that, you get a little angry. You get a little angry and kind of lose it on me. And I don't know if I can take that going forward into our marriage. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 sweetheart. No, 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 sweetheart. I would never do that. I would definitely never do that to you. That was a one-time thing. You always want to believe your man. You want to always believe your man and what he's telling you to be true. You do want to believe him when he's telling you these things. But in your heart of hearts and what you're seeing is something totally different from what he's telling you, then you have to be more of the person that comes right out with it and say, listen here, bro, we're going to push this thing off a little bit more so we can learn each other just a little bit more. So I'll know if this is something that we both would like to do. Because I'm seeing some things, husband, new, new engaged, my fiance. I'm seeing some things that I'm a little bit concerned about. And so I just want to make sure that we're on the right track. Is this the man that I married? Um, no, he promised me he would never put his hands on me. He promised me he would never put his hands on me. Not my husband. He promised me that. And all of a sudden, we were in a heated argument and I got backhand to the floor. And then he comes to you with the excuse of, that was a mistake, babe. What happened was I got upset and my arm just went this way. Excuse me. I got upset and my arm just went this way and you just so happened to be in the way. Listen out for the excuses. Listen out for the excuses. Y'all, everything is just unraveling and coming apart. Listen out for the excuses, okay? Because we don't want to be in situations where where patches are being put on top of things that you know is not right, but I'm gonna ride with them until the wheels fall off. I'm going to ride with him until the wheels fall off because I believe in him, even though he's doing things that he promised me he would never do. He promised me he would never put his hands on me. He promised me that he would never uh, uh, raise his voice and call me out of my name. He promised me he would never do that. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking the names that he's calling me, I'm thinking that's my name now. I'm answering to that. I'm answering to BITCH. I'm answering to HOE. I'm answering to these words that I thought I would never hear my husband say. That's my name now because that's all he calls me. What happened to the man that I married? How did it get to this point? Why are we here? Why in the middle of the night do I have to get up out of my sleep and go look for my husband because he hasn't been home in a day or two or three? Why do I have to do that? Who is this man that I married? What happened to us? We, as women, sometimes to be comfortable, so we think we put up with a lot of things, and it's hard, and you feel like there's no way out. There's no way out of being all of a sudden these things are happening. I'm watching him run the streets now. I'm watching him call me all kind of names. I'm watching him tell me I'm nothing. I'm watching him on the phone with other people and he swear he's not. What happened to the man that I married? It's hard, ladies. I know it is. But you can't stay in it like that. You can't stay in it like that. You either find you some help, you either get up and figure out what's going on. Because the conversations at this point are not working just with him. He's making excuses on why he's doing what he's doing because he's no longer interested. Why is he no longer interested? What are we doing different that he is no longer interested? Okay, let's go to the ladies. This is the man talking now. This woman promised me she would treat me like a king. Now that has stopped. Why do you think it stopped? Why do you think it stopped? Why do you, as the man, think that all of a sudden this woman that promised you and she's always treated you like a king, why did it stop? All of a sudden, cold turkey. Is it because she's not being treated like a queen? Is it because you are mistreating her? How can a woman treat you and give you king status if you are not making her feel like the queen she is? If you're not making her feel like the queen she is, she's not running, jumping, and busting her behind for you. So, men, we have to figure out why the king treatment has stopped cold turkey. You need to figure it out. How did it roll? When I got home, I used to get massages. When I got home, I used to get a full cooked meal. When I got home, you know, my clothes would be washed, clean, put up. Da, 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 da. Now she act like she don't care. How is that? How is it even possible for her to act like she doesn't care? Well, something there is wrong, and you have to figure it out before it gets too late and continues on in a bad way. You have to figure it out. Now the man is saying, she promised me she would keep herself up. Now I look at her, she's completely let herself go. She used to get her nails done, toes done, hair done. Now that I look at her, she wears oversized clothes. She doesn't care. She is not attracted to me anymore. Sometimes, as women, we get comfortable. We get comfortable. I don't get comfortable in that sense. My husband tells me sometimes, you know, you get comfortable. My husband does. He tells me that sometimes that I get comfortable. And that's just in a sense of just allowing certain things to happen. Not mistreatment or anything like that, just being comfortable with being comfortable. I make sure I get up every day. I make sure I put on clothes. I make sure I put my face on. I make sure, even though I pretty much am working outside, working in the home and out in the streets or whatever, I still get up and I do what I got to do. But sometimes I fall short, but it's not all of the time. It's not all of the time. When I go out, I make sure I look a certain way. Clothes is what I love. Makeup is what I love. Nails is what I love. Toes done is what I love. So you will never see me looking janky unless I'm in the in between stage. And the in between stage means that day I might have them off and then I'm headed to go and get it done or doing whatever I'm doing. But there's an in between stage. It's okay to be in the in between stage, but don't stay in the in between stage. Keep yourself groomed as we also would like our men to stay groomed. We as the women have to stay groomed. You understand what I'm saying? You don't walk around looking like I've said before. I've said in a couple of lives back. A lot of us are working from home, and so in that instance, we're working from home. We tend to be sitting at the computer in our underwear, our pajamas, our t-shirts, looking like a home. Excuse, I don't want to say that because I said that last time and I didn't mean to say it like that, but that was just a word. But looking like somebody that just don't care. I apologize because I got an inbox about saying that you have to be very careful with what you say because certain people don't look like that on purpose. Some people just can't help it. But the ones I'm talking about can help it. Okay? So while we can help it, make it a point because our men don't like to see us like that. They don't like to see us looking janky. They don't like to see us giving up on ourselves, letting um letting our bodies go, the weight is fluctuating. He's used to I married a dime piece and I want her to continue to age gracefully as possible. I don't want her to just I want her to, I allow her room to make sure that she can take care of herself. So in turn, that's what he's thinking he's gonna see and he's gonna get. Yes, ladies, we have to work out. Yes, we have to maintain ourselves when we have a significant other. If you're by yourself, nobody cares. Nobody cares what you look like when you're by yourself. That's why a lot of people like to be by themselves because they don't want the pressure of having to look like something all the time. You should want to. You should want to look good for you. And look good to you is whatever way you feel like you need to look good. You know what you did to catch that man. You know what you did to catch that woman. We expect it to stay on point as much as possible. Of course, the years go by. We're not going to continue to stay we met our significant others at 20, 21, 19, 18. No, we're never going to look like that again. But we want to look age appropriate, meaning good for our age. Okay, so we want to be able to keep that up, okay, for our men because they want to see that. They don't want to see, what's going on with you? You look depressed. You look bad. You don't want your man coming to you saying that because it hurts when they do. So, in order for you to not get that comment, do your best to make sure you're on point, whatever that looks like for you. Your style is your style. Don't go out trying to be another woman. Don't go out trying to be this person over here because I've told you about that. What's for you is for you. What that other lady looks like, come on, you know how it is these days. Sometimes we're these new women that look amazing on TV and whatever it is, whatever, they're on top of their game, doing lip fillers, breast augmentation, stomachs done, butts done. You don't know what they did to look like that. That's why I say you gotta look like you, the best you can look for you. Because following somebody else, you don't know what that person is going through trying to keep up. Okay, so what's for you is for you. Make sure you stay on task on what that looks like for you. And okay, so I already talked about, I'm not attracted to my woman anymore, and probably like I feel like my woman has lost herself. She is not the woman with the ambition I married. Let me address that. Life happens. Life happens. Things happen, and people kind of lose themselves in what life hit them with, per se. Okay, everybody minds don't work the same. So life might hit somebody so hard that they intend that they that not they intend that they kind of fall off a little bit, trying to keep themselves together, trying to keep the car on the road, if you will. And I understand that perfect. I understand that perfect because, you know, life kind of throws things at you. Somebody die, somebody get hit by a car, somebody tragically gets shot in your face, somebody, these things are life altering. Okay, and you are trying to keep your mind and keep yourself intact and keep your mind straight because you lose yourself a little bit, right? And so when you kind of lose yourself, then therefore you're not as ambitious as you were before. You're not that same person anymore because you lost a little bit of yourself when that tragic situation happened. So I would say to the man, be a little bit sensitive to that, knowing what may have happened, why she's not as ambitious as she was before. So a conversation can be had nicely. Like my husband always say, we always know what nicely, we always know what don't take it the wrong way means. In my house, don't take it the wrong way means we finna have a tough conversation. And it might have your eye twitching a little bit, but it's truth. It's truth. Truth being told to you. And sometimes we don't like when the truth is being told to us, right? So we get offended, and instead of taking it and processing it and saying, you know what, he's right. I did kind of lose myself a little bit and I'm not doing that anymore. And I act like I don't halfway care. So I got to get that back. I got to get me back to what I'm used to, number one. Because if you're not happy with you, you're not going to be able to make him happy, if you will, If you're not happy with you first, number one, do it for you. Okay? You gotta make sure you're doing what you're doing for you first. And then you can in turn make your man, you can satisfy your man in that. I hope I'm making sense. And then, the man is probably like, I married a smart, good looking, intelligent, loyal, committed lady. That she does it. She just does it for me. I married that. But now when I look at her, I see somebody totally different. Well, you got to figure out why she's totally different. Why? She might be broken. She might be lost. She might be stuck. But you got to have the You got to have the conversation, and you got to kind of help her along. It's okay to help her along. Don't just leave her there and be like, she ain't acting like she's bad. I'm sick of her. Whatever. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of looking at her. Ugh, she's looking like garbage these days. I don't know what's wrong with her. Somebody need to talk to her. I ain't doing it. You don't want to be that person, because what if the tables are turned and you're the one that's looking like garbage? You're the one that used to have ambition. You're the one that used to be the good looking one, and now you're looking weathered. But she's still with you. She's still with you. She ain't complaining. So the shoe can be on either foot. We got to help each other. We got to be each other's helpmate instead of tearing each other apart. If you feel like you can't be committed to me because I changed just a little bit, and you just feel like you can't help me get back to that point, help me get back to who I used to be. If you can't help me do that, and you feel like you got to go out and do something stupid like cheat on me, or flirt with other women in my face and gawk at women in my face, like I'm not pretty, she's more beautiful, she's so beautiful, I can't see, I have never seen a more beautiful woman. There's beautiful women everywhere, and there's also beautiful women out there that ain't had a man and God knows when. So you got to figure out why they don't even have a man, because they out here ain't accepting these whatever type of guys, these beautiful women. If they're not married and they're so beautiful, why they don't have a man? Let me give you this scenario I saw because it's on my mind. I don't know if it's off the subject or whatever. But I think it is on the subject because the subject is, who did I marry? So TikTok, of course, or real comedian put up a skit and he was asleep. He was over his girlfriend's house. He's married, but he was over his girlfriend's house and he was asleep. And the girlfriend has answered his phone. And the phone, girlfriend answered the phone, and she's on the phone and she's arguing with this lady on the phone. And he wake up out of sleep, wiping his eyes. Now he totally knocked out at her house, and he wakes up out of his sleep, wiping his eyes. Who you talking to? Who you fussing with? Oh my God. She said, whoever this lady is, name programmed in your phone saying she your wife. I'm talking to her. He said, are you crazy? Hang up the phone. And he snatched the phone from her. He hung up the phone and he said, are you crazy? This girl gonna kick me out now. So you here with your whole girlfriend, and then you are concerned because your girlfriend got on the phone with your wife and told your wife you over here, you her man, and you concerned that she gonna kick you out. Oh yeah, she is gonna kick you out. Oh, she absolutely is. And he said, oh my God, messed up my life. And she was like, I mean, when you was gonna tell her? When exactly was you gonna tell her? He was like, I will never tell her. What are you doing? Why would you do that? I mean, he completely changed. Now she was with him all this time, but he has promised her all these things, that he was gonna leave her, that he was gonna tell her. He just wanted to tell her all that so he can go over here and be comfortable with you and get in your underwear with no intention of leaving his wife. You hear what I'm saying? He just want to be with you because you so easy with giving up the goods on the outside so he can have his cake and eat it too. He got his wife where he happy at halfway, but then over here I got my cake and I'm eating it too. Oh, but the girlfriend done blew it up. One thing is for sure, two things for certain. Everybody ain't gonna stay quiet. They gonna blow up the spot. Somebody gonna blow up the spot. So she blew up the spot. And so the wife is probably at home. She probably at home throwing my stuff in the bushes right now. You done messed up my happy home. She said, just go get your stuff and come on back here. He said, I don't want to live here. You don't know how to cook. You don't know how to clean. You don't know how to look how you live. You got TV on the floor. I got a whole house. Everything beautiful at home. You over here with the TV on the floor like a little kid. But that's where you at right now. You over there trying to get your cake and eat it too. But that ain't where you really want to be. You just over there to get what you need to get so you can get on back home and live a good life. And you got your whole sickness of a lifestyle stroked. And you don't realize this lady gonna kick you out and now you left with her. She's all willy nilly happy to take you in, but you don't even want to be with her either. So sometimes the things that you go through as a person, you got to have morals. You got to work it out with your significant other because either way you're not. Sometimes either way you're not happy. And if you're one of those people that are just not ever happy with whatever you're going through and you just go and you feel like I'm just going to go do something stupid because I feel like it, go get you some help. Go get you some help. And when you're getting ready to do something stupid, stop and think about it before you do it because it's life altering. And everything that you work so hard for is then no more. And now you're at ground zero. And now you're super depressed because this is not what you thought that life was going to be. And it's all because of choices and consequences. It was your choice to go do something stupid. So here's the consequences from it. So when I say, who did I marry? Maybe you need to write it down and figure out where we're going wrong in our marriage. Why are we now seeking to be different and doing things differently and not the way that we used to do things to try to please each other? Why are you not treating that man like a king anymore? Why would you stop? Why are you treating this woman like she's nothing now? What happened? Write it down. If you can't verbally say it, I have something that I need to talk to you about. I can't really talk to you about it, but I wrote these things down. Can you look at it and see where we are and see where we need to go get help for it from? Because we know what's wrong with ourselves. We just got to get up and do it. Get out of that stuck mentality. Get out of that, I don't feel beautiful anymore. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel, get out of that. If you're not your number one cheerleader, nobody else will be. You got to cheer for yourself first. You got to know that you know that you know that you are worth it. You're worthy of anything. Get up and say your affirmations to yourself. Even if you don't feel like it, tell yourself. Because if you don't tell yourself, nobody else will. Nobody else will tell it to you like you can. Know it for yourself first. And then maybe somebody on the outside will co-sign for it. But tell it to yourself first. Let yourself know that you're worthy of anything. You can do anything that anything is possible. You can do anything. Don't let anybody tear you down to the ground and you believe it and you stay there. Get up, fix it, find out the problem, work it out, If it can't work out, move along. This marriage, these marriages, it's your way. Whichever way works for you, how it works for you. Things don't necessarily work in one house that works in another house. That's why we call it marriage our way. Whatever way works for you. I can't judge how it works for you in the things that you do in your home that I think might be sick and I would never do that. But that's that's the way it works for you. That's your marriage. That's your way. Over here, you might not understand how me and Fred do it. You don't understand how we manage to do what we do and have what we have. How? It's our way. That's how. And how you manage it is your way. So make sure whatever it is, it works your way for the both of you. So you can in turn have this happy life, happily ever after. We're all looking for a happily ever after. But if you see those signs, cut it before it gets worse. Figure it out before it gets worse because you don't want it to keep festering until it turns into a bad, bad situation. All right? I love you guys. I pray that um, this message made sense because a lot of us are going through it bad these days. We're going through it bad. Some of us, not so much. Some of us, a whole lot. Do your best to be at your best. Work hard to be the best you know how to be in your marriage. All right? Love you. Call somebody today. See how they're doing. If you can't get to them today, call them first thing tomorrow. How are you doing? I haven't heard from you. You've been very quiet lately. I'm wondering what's going on. I don't need to know what's going on. I just want you to know that I love you and I just want to make sure you're doing okay. Let me know. Give me a call back if you don't speak to the person, but just at least try. You don't know how that'll bless somebody's life. Okay? Love you guys. See you guys next next week, next Tuesday. I don't know what time, but I will be back on next Tuesday. All right. Have a good day.